Start the recording.
Okay, so this is going to be it's technically the fourth installment of our podcast because I have two other sessions recorded as well. But this is the first in-person session, and we're here with Mr. Martinez. There's like 3 cameras set up.
Yeah, I know.
All right, so you've been a physics teacher, right? Obviously, here for how long have you been working?
This is now my 4th year.
4th year.
Yeah, I started during the hybrid learning during COVID.
Okay, so you started basically with this class then, class of 2024.
Yeah.
Right.
It was around that time.
So first, I'm gonna address obviously the big thing, right, which is the fact that you went to MIT, right? So I wanted to just as a person interested in that type of thing, what was that experience like? Going to MIT, big school.
Yeah. It was obviously very grateful that I even had the opportunity because not everyone gets to have that opportunity given how competitive it is to get in. But yeah, I mean, it was an amazing experience. A lot of it is due to the people, right? Because the thing is with in terms of education and knowledge, I mean, you can get that from books and like lectures and videos and whatnot. And that's something that actually really drew me to the school in the first place was watching their lectures online. So for those who don't know, you can go to mit.ocw.edu and they have pretty much like all the curriculum is online and you can learn it all for free. So in terms of like having that experience, most people can have 90% of that experience for free online. Because all the lectures are recorded, all the homework and all of the tests, like all of that content is online. So anyways, that's really what made me want to go to the school, and it was also the top school for physics. Yes. So watching the lectures from Walter Lewin and just, that's where I really wanted to go. I didn't actually anticipate being able to get in, obviously. But I mean, I figured I'd take a chance and it worked out. And the 4 years there, it was a really great experience. And I think the biggest thing was the people. So like everyone there is, truly exceptional and like really smart.
I mean, at such a top school, and I know MIT I've heard is one of the toughest graders as well, right?
Oh, yeah.
In terms of, I know Boston University is up there, and that's only because my brother goes there, but I've heard MIT is also up there in terms of how hard they make their tests.
Yeah, if you get an A, that actually means something. Whereas like I feel like nowadays A's like, a lot of people get A's just by doing all the work and like having a basic understanding. But over there, like I think I only got like a couple A's. I did not get very many A's. I got mostly B's. A lot of B pluses. Which was
right in the middle there.
Well, it's because if you get a B plus, it's like you were just shy of being able to get an A. It didn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, but it shows you that it's challenging, right? So I mean, there are some people who do get mostly A's, but that's because they work like crazy, right?
Yeah.
So you have to really work for it. It shows like genuine like mastery of the content, which is that's really hard to do. Yeah, I mean.
Alright, still sticking with MIT. So I know that we had a previous one that we had to delete, but
I have follow-ups as well.
Yeah, so you were in a frat in MIT, right?
Theta Chi.
So Theta Chi, yeah. I know Rohan was here last time, and he was talking about all the bad stuff that's going down with Theta Chi.
Well, it's just the Greek life in general. Sometimes kids, and it's not all schools. It's that some schools are more prone to it than others. But yeah, I mean, if you have like parties and stuff like that, and you're not very responsible, then bad things can happen.
You remember the party days at MIT?
Sure.
How was that?
It was fun. I mean, we hosted quite a few parties. A lot of the fraternities and sororities do. And what's nice is that there are fraternities that are on the Cambridge side, and then across the river was on Boston side. What's nice is that we're able to go until 2 o'clock in the morning, whereas everyone in Cambridge side can only go until 1 o'clock in the morning. But it's one of those things that, like, when I first started my freshman year, that's when the parties were very novel and very exciting, and it was a lot of fun. But also, I wasn't living in the house until later. So when you actually have to host the parties in your own house that you have to clean up after,
has to be annoying.
Then it's one of those things you do for like kind of like the public, right? To like get your name out there and you want to host at least a few parties a year. But we would typically we would transition more into like pub nights as opposed to parties because that was more of an invite only kind of deal. And it was more personal, right? Because with the parties, you'll have random people sometimes that want to like go into the party, and you, as long as you're underneath capacity, right, you just let people in. Those are the people who worked on the stoop. They were the ones who determine who can come in and who can't come in. So like at the beginning of a party, typically you let most people in, but then as the party starts to fill up, you tend to be a little bit more selective on who you think would contribute more to the party, which is, it doesn't feel good when someone can't get in, but I never had to deal with that. I always worked at so we had jobs basically. So
you split up jobs.
Yeah, because otherwise it's too much to manage.
Do you ever DJ?
No. So the DJs were, we had a friend of the fraternities that he really knew how to DJ very well, and then he taught one of our brothers how to DJ once he left. And then with that, he was able to, oh, there's Rohan.
Rohan. You can come in.
All right, yeah, we got another 8 minutes in the podcast. Yeah. So,
this is Mr. President.
Yeah, we had someone from my class actually, class of 2015, Haldoon. He learned how to DJ, and he would DJ the parties. But like, yeah, I mean, it was more, like I said, we didn't have that many.
Do you not
parties.
remember when I busted out the DJ in the middle of class?
Yeah, I remember that. You were showing me the app.
Yeah, we were playing Pitbull in the middle of class. Oh my god, that was so fun.
Yeah.
And then you got mad at me.
Did I?
Because I kept on playing Pitbull on.
Oh, well,
I wish I had you as a teacher.
Yeah,
I was fortunate enough to have Mrs. Hubbard.
Well, you got to do AP, right?
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
I don't think I appreciated it much.
Yeah.
You should teach.
You should teach AP. So going back to the educational background, right?
Yeah.
So I did digging, obviously. So
okay.
You taught at Boston Public Schools for 2 years when you started.
Oh no, actually I taught there
6 years.
4 years. No,
4 years?
I taught. So I
I
graduated. So 2015, I graduated. I worked at my high school near my hometown. And me and my wife, we lived there for about a year, and then we decided Florida wasn't working out. We wanted to go back to Massachusetts. So then I taught at BPS for 3.5 years, technically, because I didn't start until like November, December. And then basically I moved once COVID like occurred. But basically I was able to get a house in Lowell, Chelmsford area, and then I was commuting over an hour to work and over an hour back.
Yeah.
And that year was not pleasant. Having to drive so much, right? And then if I had to stay after a little bit, like there were commutes I had that were like over 2 hours because with rush hour traffic or if it was like snowing or anything like that. So yeah, that was not gonna work long term. So thankfully there was a position here and I applied here and now I'm still here. So
do you ever want to go back to teaching AP or why'd you leave it in the first place?
I teach so it's one of those things where it's like I kind of just teaching like what's really available, what's in demand, what's needed. So if like someone's already teaching a class, right, and they're doing well at it, they should continue to teach that class if they so desire, because they already have everything set up, all the curriculum and all the materials. So for me personally, I mean, I'm down to teach whatever, right?
Okay,
It's not too big of a deal. Like right now, I'm mostly teaching chemistry, even though my background's in physics, but that's what was in demand, right? That's what we needed. We needed someone to, exactly.
Jump around.
And so I deliberately chose to be as flexible as possible, just to,
that's how you earn more money, the more flexible.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, that's kind of the idea. And also, I mean, I taught I taught one class of chemistry last year, and I actually enjoyed it. I like physics more because it's more.
I like physics more.
Yeah, it's a little bit more hands-on. Also, it's not as like tedious in terms of the labs.
I feel
like chemistry. It
the
requires
chemistry labs are annoying.
It's a lot of prep and it's a lot of cleanup and a lot of responsibility.
The worst one is I don't know if
my friend blew his face off in class.
So I gotta be more mindful of that. Whereas in physics, it's harder to do that.
Are you gonna do a volcano lab like elephant toothpaste?
I don't know about elephant. I can try that as a demo. I need to go through all this stuff. I mean, it looks really cool.
Elephant toothpaste? You combine what is it?
I don't remember the actual chemicals.
Combine elephants and toothpaste and it blows up.
So it's an exothermic, so you know how baking soda vinegar, that's exothermic, right? With the elephant toothpaste, it's very similar. I mean, we can look it up, but it's, I can't remember what chemicals.
We'll play a video.
Of
Yeah.
For those of you at home.
Yeah, you
We'll
can
have
put a
a
little
video,
clip.
like,
Literally,
right
it looks like
there.
a little volcano. That's how the volcano experiments are done, right? They literally.
The
they
original
mix
ones that I saw were just the vinegar baking soda.
You think they should bring science projects back?
Like science fairs?
Science fair.
We have a science
I'm not
fair.
sure
We
what
have a
the
science fair in
deal-
4th grade.
yeah.
I had
Here,
one in 4th grade.
in
Yeah,
high school. Imagine
High
science
school
fair
ones
in
would
high
get
school.
really insane.
Yeah, it could be
With
very
the-
interesting.
Like
yeah.
the intelligence of kids nowadays, like, bro,
It's not that
someone would like
Someone
find
would
the cure to
build-
cancer that way.
I
feel like that should be
yeah.
a whole
Our
program.
class
like,
vice president is
nationwide.
working on that already.
Yeah, I think for science club or a science
Science
team,
team.
you can do
But
like a
don't they,
project.
Science
like-
team is more test
They
oriented.
like just
though.
take tests. They go around the school taking.
They do that in addition.
We had-
As someone who's
Well,
hosting
as-
science team this year.
You do physics and engineering club though,
Yes.
right? Where you guys do build a model rocket, from what I got.
Well, we do that for physics
They
class.
goof around. In
Yeah,
the
and
physics club.
well,
What do you do in
now it's
physics
actually a little bit more serious because a lot of the
Really?
seniors. Well, yeah, because
It was
there's
so
Wait, here's
in
fun.
free
terms of
plug. Free plug. What do you do in physics club?
so in physics club, I mean the main focus with physics and engineering club is to have a space where students can work on projects, right?
I see.
And that's kind of like the whole point. I mean, we can also do demonstrations and just have conversations, but it's like, for example, we have a bunch of Arduinos and Raspberry Pis, so you can use those for physics and engineering club. These are just some components, right? So these are components from Arduino,
Why are you
right?
like
So you
this?
can learn how to work on electronics, all right? And yeah, we have some students that are doing some intro projects with the Arduinos.
Yeah, this is
And, yeah, so you want to learn
hella
how to use
organized.
LEDs, and you want to use.
yeah.
Oh God,
It's
guys,
just
join
more
physics
connectors.
and engineering.
We're gonna have a
club.
podcast just in physics
Sure.
and engineering club. What?
Yeah, actually, so I can show
What's
the
this?
first project. Right.
Oh,
so-
he's on the move. He's on the
Wait.
move. We gotta
Look
chase
at-
him like
look
Dr.
at
Phil,
this.
bro.
Look at this.
Chase him like Dr. Phil when the dad runs
We only
away.
have a few minutes, but yeah, for physics and engineering.
We're gonna.
Also, this leads a little bit into programming. Although programming right now, everyone's learning Python. That's like kind of so
Python is up. I thought-
Yeah, for the coding club.
Yeah, that's usually. What
So
it is.
it's basically like, I mean, I kind of just go with what students want to do, right? That's kind of the whole idea. I remember there was a point when we started the physics and engineering club. It was originally Marty Coleman's idea. So
Yeah,
he just recently
yeah.
graduated. There was like a whole period of time. I think we spent like a month just talking about aliens, right? So it's
That's
you're.
Did you see the skeleton of the alien in Mexico?
Mexican alien skeleton.
I think that was a person.
You haven't? No.
Yeah,
Have you
That's
seen
like-
a
it was a
picture of
hominid.
it?
That's
Yeah,
what
no,
he said.
I've heard of it. I think it's a
You
hominid.
know,
I thought it looked pretty realistic.
It could be someone.
no, it could just be someone with
It's
a
like
genetic
birth defects.
mutation.
Yeah. There's-
Actually.
So, like for example, we got about a minute left. This is the first project
Oh.
in the Arduino handbook, okay, where you learn how to set up the LEDs with the resistors and how to actually program the board. And then it's very. Oh, this one's not connected. All right, let me make sure this is
I thought
good.
you were gonna ask if you can program people.
All right, there we go.
Why
Oh.
did I say that?
Interesting.
Seems like something you'd say.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Well, this is also you can learn how to troubleshoot if any of your circuits are.
We should.
This one's not working right now.
Mr. Martinez, can we build the PC in physics and engineering
Sure.
club?
Actually, I have the.
Can we like hotwire a random car and take it?
A hotwire random car. A
Oh,
car.
remember we had a conversation about how
How to
hard it is to
hotwire.
hotwire. a
But
car
then
in
there was the
physics
Kia,
class.
the whole Kia thing.
Yeah, and
right?
then you explained to me and Rain why it's so easy to hotwire a car, and then you
You
almost
For what? In terms of like talking
You
about
guys
just how to
almost
hotwire a
hotwire.
car. You just
Well,
taught us how
you
to do
should
it.
tell them how
It's-
to do that type of
It's
stuff. They
well,
might
so
actually
it
do
depends on how the car is made. So there was like the whole Kia
Uh-huh.
thing where I forgot exactly what the design flaw was, but basically,
Kia has a ton of design flaws.
well, this one
The
in
whole
particular,
company
The whole-
is a design
they were
The
able
whole
to
logo.
just turn it on just by using a USB drive, right? So like
Oh.
they disassembled basically the whole assembly for where the you put the key in, and then you're able to use a USB drive to fit it into the part that has the ignition and just turn it on. All right. Anyways, I'll show the one more project for the Arduinos.
Yeah,
And you don't have to necessarily be in physics and engineering club. If you want to just stop by after school
Stop
to
by,
learn how this
look at
stuff works.
don't start
So this is
with-
actually I remember you all saw this, the Magic 8 Ball.
Oh yeah, that was sick.
I don't
So this
think
is
that's
one of the
good.
other projects. It's
Yeah.
considered one of the harder ones
Mr.
for
Martinez,
Arduino.
me and Rain went around touching everything in your room at some point.
Yeah.
We just kept on asking.
Here, ask the crystal ball. Here, ask me a question. That's how we'll end the podcast.
Wait, we gotta record it.
Okay, wait.
So all you have to do is tap it. After you ask the crystal ball, just tap it.
Just tap this.
Yeah, so ask the crystal ball a question and then tap it.
So, what's a good question?
How is the weather today? Oh no,
you have to ask me like a yes or no question.
Certainly.
It's
not very good. Broken. Yeah. Oh well. Ask you another question.
Is Mr. Martinez smart?
Uh-oh.
Should you watch the next episode of the podcast? Should you guys have a great day and goodbye.